Hello everyone. Welcome on in. Welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week we are memory planning the week of September 13th through September 19th. It is a bit of a special week for me, so I did decide to use a very floral, I guess muted pastel type kit for this, and the kit that I'm using is from Stella Bow Sticker Co. And the reason that I chose this kit, which you will see obviously as the week progresses, this particular week was actually the week of my grandpa's birthday. Now, unfortunately, he isn't with us anymore, so we are celebrating his heavenly birthday, and that is on the 14th of September. So I was very conscious of choosing a kit for that. I mean, look, I know it's probably a little bit feminine for his taste. My grandpa was someone who was a bit of a grease monkey. He spent his entire life, I mean, if he could have spent his entire life until the literal minute that he passed away working in his workshop, he would have done so. He was actually a mechanic by trade, and he specialized in American cars, or yank tanks as we sort of refer to them here in Aussie slang. But he did that his entire life until he retired, just a few short years before he passed away. But that was his life, that was his love, that was his passion. So I probably should have used something that was a bit more, I don't know, calm, male, masculine. I don't know. But at the same time, like I said, I was conscious of the fact that this was kind of, I guess, a memorial type week. And when I was looking through my kits, I was like, what could I possibly use that's going to sort of memorialize his birthday week, be sort of not too overwhelming, be pretty, be beautiful, and just be, I guess, kind of special. And I mean, no offense, Grandpa, no offense, Pop, but when I look back on this planner, obviously, you know, I like to use a lot of sort of feminine, floral, pink, pastel type kits, so it definitely fits in that regard. So that was my thought process behind this week. You will see when we get to the end, I don't actually show you the leftovers of this kit. I normally do. I sort of show you what I've used, what's left. That way you guys get an indication of how the kit works, if it's something that you might be interested in. But unfortunately, this kit was one that I struggled with a little bit. So some of the cut lines, well, most of the cut lines weren't deep enough. So when I was pulling off like my glitter headers, when I was taking out my full boxes, basically all of the functional boxes, the cut lines weren't complete, and I ended up having all these like scrappy little sticker pieces that I was like peeling off the sticker and then putting back down on the kit just to sort of get it out of the way. And the way that the kit looked afterwards was not very flattering. So I kind of just thought, you know what, look, let's opt to leave it out. Obviously I make the kit work. I was able to use everything, but I just thought it was more appropriate to not include my scrappy leftovers, if that makes sense. So I hope you don't mind. But I feel like I'm doing a lot of like lip smacking, and I'm always so incredibly conscious of that, and I know that people have commented on it before, but it's one of those things like you start talking and then you go on a rant and then your mouth gets dry and you're sort of trying to think what you want to say next and trying to make sure that you don't mess up what you're currently saying, and it just, I don't know, I think like lip smacking is kind of like is it a nervous twitch? Maybe, possibly, maybe that's why I do it so much, I don't know, but I'm trying to be conscious of it, so yes, I'm doing my best. But in terms of our foundation, so again, I'm pretty predictable in terms of the way that I plan. So I always start with my bottom washi and then I gravitate my way towards the top of the page and I do my date headers, date dots, glitter headers, and then usually I'll do my sidebar and move on to like full boxes and day-to-day planning, and I'm pretty sure that's what I did with this one. But I'm going to go ahead and sort of start talking my way through everything. So at the bottom there, you'll see that I put the washi from the kit in. You won't see it until the end, but I then did bring in a silver overlay washi overlay tape from SPC, just because I thought that the bottom washi was very muted, and I didn't really have any Simply Gilded tape or any other washi tapes that went with this kit, but I wanted something to kind of, I don't know, make it stand out a little bit more and make it less unnoticeable or less not noticeable. I don't know. I feel like that's a contradiction, but I wanted to bring something else in and add something to the bottom there. So I brought that in the silver. I did debate whether I was going to use foil with this kit, and initially I didn't want to, but then I thought that if I didn't want to, again, it might be too muted, too pastel. So I did opt to bring in some silver foil. There's not a whole lot of it. It's just kind of here and there. Like I use foil date headers. I obviously use the washi overlay down the bottom. I do end up using some washi overlay tapes from Pretty Planner Studio over the full boxes. I'm going to try and find a quote to put to layer over the top corner box that you will see me lay down in a minute. And then I, of course, bring in some glitter header overlays. And I think I bring in like one or two foiled scripts, quickly looking at it. So not too much, just enough. And I think it actually turns out beautifully. So very, very happy with how it looks at the end. Also, when I filmed this, it was so overcast and so dark. And I was like, because I'd had my heart set on, because I'd not filmed a video. Well, no, I've filmed videos, I just haven't edited videos. But because I was so behind and I have so many weeks to film and catch up on again, I thought I'd sit down on Monday and I would just film and get through as many videos as I could. So this was the first video I did. And when I was in my bedroom, which is where I film at the moment, and when I was looking back at the footage on my camera, it looked really dark. Like the footage looked really dark. But now that I'm looking at it on my voiceover, I mean, it's not great, but it's not terrible. But because it did look so dark on my camera at the time, I decided not to continue filming, which is now quite annoying because looking back at it, I probably could have continued on. But it is what it is. I mean, look, at the end of the day, at least I filmed one video. That's one video more than I had filmed before. So, small win. So you'll see me laying down the sidebar now. So again, as per usual, that top left-hand corner, I have paired a planner face page flag with a planner face script, just to denote the month of the year that we are in. Also, I want to change that up. I've been I've been watching a lot of videos from like Shantae Plans, Just Plans, Gathered Plans, who else? Plan Mosh Plan. Lots of very floral based planners, and the way that they sort of do their spreads now, where it's obviously white space, there's lots of foil, there's lots of florals. It is beautiful, and I really, really, really want to give it a try. But I remember when I tried white space at the beginning of this year, I kind of loved it, and then I hated it, and then I loved it, and then I hated it, and now I'm just kind of about it. And whilst I really want to jump on the floral train trend, and I want to like change up that top corner and make it a little bit more, foily and gold and pretty and special, I don't know if I'll be able to pull it off. Like, I really want to try it and I want to give it a go. But yes, I don't have any of the foils. I don't have any of the florals. So firstly, it would obviously be a big outlay just to try something that I may not like or may not enjoy. But then I'm also like, I'm at that stage where I'm so used to planning the same way over and over again that I'm like, is it time to change up the way that I plan? Like, I've been planning this exact way with all of the character stickers, with, the way that my sidebar is, with the way that my header is, with the way that I put that flag and the month in the top corner. Everything has been the same for the last, November, 11 months. And whilst I love it, I kind of think, do I need to be more, I don't know, experimental? I feel like that's not the word. I'm just like flicking back through all of my old spreads now while I'm talking, and literally every week is the same with the exception of one where I use like a mandala at the top and put the script over the mandala as opposed to the page flag. So that is interesting. But let me know if you guys would be interested in seeing me do a spread that kind of is different to what I'm currently doing and what I usually do, then let me know, because I'm always up for trying something new. I would obviously just have to gather the pieces together and then give it a try. And I mean, look, For all we know, I could love it, and that could be the trend that turns me into a white space planner, because it does look like a heck of a lot of fun. It looks kind of more scrapbooky than what I do at the moment. So I don't know, I'm thinking about it, but let me know in the comments below. Anyway, as I was saying, so sidebar, I do my usual. I put my my full boxes at the top and the bottom there. As you'll see, I do want to find a sort of love or memorial or like missing someone in heaven type quote for that top box. Below that, I of course mark in my socials, and I mark those in using my Sticker Thief YouTube button and Instagram icon. And then this week I also marked that it was Pop's birthday week in the sidebar, so I've just done that in our half box, and I go and bring in a like clinking glasses icon sticker from an SPC kit or from my stash. And then I also use a laptop sticker from Stellabo Sticker Co. below that in a little quarter box to mark that I was finalizing some business stuff this week, because I launched my business in October. And then obviously to finish off the sidebar, I bring in another full box and then just a small sliver of washi tape at the bottom. Jumping straight on into Monday, the first thing that I go ahead and mark is that it was Coffee Monday. And again, you guys guessed it, I used my favorite little coffee mug from Sticker Thief, and I paired that with a Coffee Monday script in silver foil from Arctic Paper Studio. This week I chose to mark work with some flat lay stickers. It was a pretty uneventful week in terms of the fact that nothing really happened. It was my usual like Monday through Friday work, chores, not much interesting going on. So I decided that the flat lay was the best way to both mark work and take up a little bit of space. So I alternate the computer flat lays from Monday through Friday, and I do at the end go in and add a silver foiled work script from Monique Plants, who is unfortunately closed, just to bring that little pop of foil and just to, of course, denote work. I mean, it's self-explanatory when you look at them, but I do like to do that. On Monday evening, because I do tend to try and plan chronologically, I use a Little Things label from the kit to mark that I did a bit of a tidy up after work. I then use a cute little cake sticker. I've had these stickers for the longest time and I've never found the opportunity to use them. And I thought with the fact that the flowers on top of the little cake look like peonies and the flowers in the kit look like peonies, I thought it was the best time to use it. So I used that to mark that hubby and I had cake for dinner because it was hubby's birthday the week before. We had some cake left over that I'd made, so we literally had cake for dinner. It was chocolate cake with sprinkles. It was delicious. Underneath that, I use a Fox and Cactus Girl to mark that I washed dishes, and by wash dishes, I mean that I washed some pots and pans by hand, which I absolutely hate because you guys know I dishwasher everything because I mark it in my planner all the time. But this particular night, I washed dishes by hand, and I thought that I would mark it because it's kind of like a big deal to me because I hate it. And then the last thing that I marked on Monday was that we sat down and watched SAS Australia. Over onto Tuesday, the first thing that I mark is that it was Poppy's birthday. So I've used some Stellabo Sticker Co. balloons in a half box just to mark that it was my Poppy's happy heavenly birthday. Happy heavenly birthday, Poppy, I wrote, to be exact. I then, of course, mark work below that. And then, as I just mentioned, I stacked the dishwasher that evening, so I've used a Stellabo Sticker Co. dishwasher icon to denote that. And then I also did some laundry, and I've just marked that in using a little Fox and Cactus Girl holding some smelly socks. She actually looks like me when I'm washing my husband's smelly socks, so that's appropriate. And then again, to finish out Tuesday, I marked that we watched SAS Australia. Over onto Wednesday, I'm about to flip, so I'll quickly run through that. So the first thing that I marked was work. I then used a half box and a script with icon from the kit to mark that it was payday. Below that, I've used a bill sticker from the kit to mark that I had to pay my phone bill, and then a Little Things label underneath that to apparently mark something that I didn't finish marking, so I don't know what that was. I also uploaded a Plan With Me video that night, which I marked in with a flat lay from Stellabo Sticker Co. And then again, finished out the day by watching SAS Australia. Over to Thursday, the first thing I mark in is, of course, work. Below that, I've used an icon from the kit to mark that I finalized my new business logo, because obviously with a relaunch of my business, I wanted to change my branding. And that was the day that I got my finalized logo. I then use a Stella Bow Sticker Co. icon from the kit, or I could have just said an icon from the kit, to mark that I was emailing a firm about some adoption inquiries. That is a story for another day because I don't have the time to go into it now. I'm already running low, but we'll come back to that at some point one day, if I remember. I then use another icon from the kit to mark that I did some cleaning. And then below that, I use yet another icon to mark that I chilled out on the couch and watched some Twitch. And then I've put a half box down the bottom there, but again, for some reason I didn't fill it out while I was planning, and I will now have to come back to it because I don't know what that was for. On Friday, of course, I have marked in work. I've then used a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji, like taking an axe to an alarm to mark that I had a 7 a.m. start that day. So I was incredibly tired, which is also what I marked below that with a fox and cactus tired cat. I then used a Once More with Love munchkin with her little finger sticking up in the air, or she's flipping someone the bird, whatever you want to call it. And that was to mark that that particular day in my work decided that they were going to mandate the vaccinations. So basically, no jab, no work. So I was pretty pissed off about that. We then had Pizza Hut for dinner, and I've just used an icon from the kit to mark that. And then on Friday evening, we watched Doolittle with Robert Downey Jr., which I quite enjoyed. And I've just marked that in with a little scalloped label from the kit and the popcorn icon from the kit as well. On to Saturday, I've just put down a custom HBT sticker that I got made a long time ago that I'm finally getting around to using. And that was to mark that I spent the entire day from the minute I woke up until probably 6 or 7 at night making bath bombs for my new business. I then use an icon from the kit to mark that I worked on a job application for my work. Again, there was a job going and I wanted to go for it because I'm very much over my work at the moment, very much over my position. So I spent some of Saturday working on that. Hubby and I then watched Clickbait that afternoon, so I've used a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji to mark that. I've then also marked in with an icon from the kit that I watched some YouTube that afternoon, and that evening my husband's football team played the Penrith Panthers, who is a local team to us, and it was an elimination round. Unfortunately, hubby's team lost, so that was not a fun time. I also decided to mark in that we had hamburgers and chips for dinner, and that little icon is from Fox and Cactus. And then on Saturday night, the movie of choice was Nobody, and I've used a TV icon from the kit to mark that. And finally, over to Sunday, I use a flat lay sticker from Stella Bow Sticker Co. and a foiled sleep-in script from Stella Bow Sticker Co. to mark sleeping in. I then use an icon from the kit to mark that I filmed 2 videos that day. This was back when I was catching up and I was actually filming a lot of videos. I think I was doing 2 every week. I then marked in that we had coffee and hash browns for breakfast. My husband didn't have the coffee, just the hash browns. And I've used a Sticker Thief mug to mark that. And then Sunday evening, I've used a Sticker Thief hair wash girl to mark washing my hair. An Instagram icon from Sticker Thief to mark that I did an Instagram post, and I also uploaded a Plan With Me video that evening as well, and I've just marked that in with a flat lay from Stella Bow Sticker Co. So this week I was on a roll. I uploaded 3 videos. 2 videos. So I do want to get back to that. That is the goal. But for now, I'm going to leave the video here. I will give you guys a little bit of a wiggle. It's not the greatest because of the overcast weather, but you'll still get an idea of the foil that I used. Thank you all so much for watching. That is everything that I have, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye!